All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another DMing Hadley game. Tonight we're playing The Withering Willow. And it's been a while since y'all seen us, even though we did, a couple of us play a game sort of in the dark, so to say, not broadcasting, because there's some things that some players learned, and I didn't want Jimbo to see it. So it's gonna be very. It's gonna, it's just, Jimbo's so good. He's so supportive. God bless him. Jimbo's one of the most supportive people I've ever known. God, I mean, seriously. And he stays up to date. Y'all can't get anything past him because he pays attention. Unlike most of y'all playing Dungeons and Dragons out there, mm, playing on your phones and taking bong rips.
I'm sorry, I have the attention span of a goldfish.
I mean, I appreciate the reason, but at the same time, I'm just I'm not wrong. That's all I'm saying. I'm more. I gotta be honest. I'm not getting on y'all. You three, getting on you. You out there, you who sits there at the table, munching chips loudly, looking at your phone on TikTok when you should be figuring out what spell you're going to cast next. That's who I'm looking at. Oh, did you feel called out?
Fucking rude, man. That's all I'm saying. You're being fucking rude.
um, so I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And what I'm saying is that this episode of The Withering Willow is going to be season two. Is it episode 12? Holy cow. It is. It's episode 12. And I've titled this one The Thorn of Experience. Those of you who are old heads like me may be familiar with an old saying, and that is that a single thorn of experience is worth a forest of warning. And y'all are about to get the thorn of experience. And yeah, Jimbo, if you want to let me know who said it, that'd be cool. I appreciate you.
That was in the song Poison, right? Or by Poison,
That's
as the
correct.
rose
That's
has
the
its
song. That
thorn.
is correct. Yes, that's what it.
Yeah.
That girl is Wait, no, that's yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. Last week was very interesting. And so now, unfortunately, Portobello is going to have to be the bearer of very interesting news to the rest of the party. Can't wait to see how that goes. Should be.
There's not. I feel like that's nothing new. You know.
That's fair. No, that has sort of become somewhat of a trope in this game. Is that it really is Portobella's like knowledge and exposition that has fleshed out the world, and there it is, James Russell Lowell. Thank you, appreciate that. Thanks, James. You were a pretty sharp guy. uh, um, but that's I'm not just here to bloviate and pull up old quotes. I'm also here to play Dungeons and Dragons. And the first thing we have to do before we get to play Dungeons and Dragons is the round robin. And during the round robin, we like to do 4 distinct things. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves. The second thing is to share with one another and the world our pronouns. The third thing we do is introduce our characters. And the fourth and final thing is offer a vivid aesthetic description of those characters so that they may live in each and every one of our brain holes, because I like to vividly hallucinate with my friends on the internet for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 7 days a week, often multiple times per day, and today is no different. So without further ado, would the jet-setting Ativa Panic take it away and show the folks at home how it's done?
Hello. I am Ativa Panic. I use it, that's pronouns. And today I will be playing Phileas Duran from Duran Duran. Phileas is a pixie with a lavender skin and pretty accented muscles for how tiny they are.
Not a self-insert character at all.
But you would only notice this if you got really close to them, because they're tiny, you know. They often don't really like wearing clothes, but currently they're in the North Pole, so clothes are kind of a requirement. And I've actually given this a lot of thought, because the last couple of times we've played in the North Pole, I haven't really given any explanation as to what Phileas is wearing out here. But I think that they would be wearing what looks like a fur coat, but upon closer inspection, you notice that the fur is dandelion fur, not like animal fur. It's like made out of like fluffy dandelion seeds. So it's like very, very poofy. And you know, just covers their entire body. They're probably not wearing anything under it, to be honest.
Looks like a chinchilla fur coat, or
yeah,
like Angora.
Yeah, but made out of dandelions.
I love it.
Dandelions and like dandelions and like thistleweed looking flowers.
Yeah, cottonwood seeds.
Yeah. Basically anything you can make fur out of that is an actual animal fur, because Phileas would never harm a creature for their own well-being ever. Normally you would see Phileas with a really awesome Jimmy Neutron bright green bright mossy green color. Currently it's more kind of like this, like straight down in front of their face.
A little emo.
And looks very much like rotted moss, or like a dark green lichen that you might find growing on a tree. They have brilliant cyan blue eyes that right now currently swirl with rage anytime you look into them. Yeah, I think that's it.
That was pretty good. I really got to hand it to you. That was a very thorough and very vivid aesthetic description. Thank you.
And I've always been curious, who is the other Duran in Duran Duran?
That's correct. Who is the other Duran?
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno Duran. No. So he's his brother.
It's correct. Pretty fantastic. Very nice. Jimbo, would you like to take it away next?
Okay, if you want me to.
I do.
Okay, so I am Jimbo. I use the I, me, we pronouns, but other people tend to use the you, he, him pronouns for me. Today I play Shiny. Shiny is a small being, looks a lot like this, but very small at 2'8" tall. Shiny is small. They are small but have long fingies and toesies, and their tail is glorious. Shiny dark gray skin with greenish highlights and glitters. Bright emerald eyes always smile, except when they don't. They smell of fresh dirt after a strong rain and fresh big spicy peppers. Shiny's hair is very, very long, almost as long as their tail. And their tail is glorious, by the by. Glorious. Also, their hair is pretty much alive in another being, so it's always moving. Aesthetically, in this North Pole area, what Shiny is wearing is, I'm imagining that Portabella dressed Shiny, and it's layers and 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 layers. So they probably looked a poofy.
I'm
Because it was
imagining.
cold.
A sock on the end of the tail.
Nice. Yeah, having worked with toddlers, I have a real strong visual of both Shiny and their hair struggling against this process. Yeah, it's a lot of fun in my head.
And it's probably like taking off bits of clothes because they're no fun, and then getting cold and being like, cold,
Yeah.
cold, cold, up to Portabella. Please dress. I need clothes. I lost my mittens.
No, not the strawberry mittens. That's so good. Thank you, Jimbo. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that brings us around to Finn.
Hello, I'm Finn, they, them, and although I am just a baby in the eyes of the rest of the group, being only 18, I play the mom of the group, Portabella.
Correct.
How funny, how it be.
It's very good.
Yeah, she's Thurbold. She's very big. She's like a little over 8 feet, maybe. Very thick, chubby lady. Very nice mom. Not actually mom. I mean, she hasn't legally adopted the rest of the group, but she basically mom. Just share the art because that's
Please.
easier. Art 1.
She is good. And we love her.
Is she always wear a mushroom hat because she's just like a mushroom lady, like not like literally made of mushroom, but like she just mushroom lady. I don't know how to describe it. She just is.
Yep. That's who she is.
I mean, her name is a kind of mushroom, so. Here's the other art.
She's so delicious. I love her so much. I know. It's so good. The blep. That's just. I love it. I love her so much. Every time I make tea or coffee, I'm like, Portabella would appreciate this.
And then for outfit, it's winter time, so I got 2 little coats. It kind of looks like her regular dress, but warmer. These little boots, little pom poms. These little tights with little embroidered flowers on them. Your mushroom printed scarf, of course, because we gotta keep tying in the mushroom theme. And of course, the legendary strawberry mittens.
Strawberry mittens. They're so good, and I love them. Fantastic, beautiful, a delight for sure.
And the vintage board also has cherry mittens. So is that what a shiny has? The cherry mittens.
That sounds right. Yeah, it's a little rough because they've got long flinkies, and so the mittens just sort of like covered only so much of the flingies. It's cool when you can curl the flingies down in the mittens. Yeah, but once you extend the flingies, the mittens come right off. Yeah, correct.
No.
Yeah. No flingies.
I guess that means that she can't wear shoes either, because shoes don't fit. She'll need very long. She need like clown shoes. Get her big toesies.
Yeah, we don't want to get you any frostbites on your toesies.
Long shoe.
I guess uppies is.
Yeah.
I guess you just have to be coyote.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a
Oh,
bad idea.
oh.
Yes.
Gets those little fucking baby holder things that sit on your chest.
Yeah, the baby Bjorns.
But it's just these big, long, lanky limbs coming out of it. It's basically just holding a monkey.
Days, days, days. It's good. I love it. Perfect. Thanks, Finn. And of course, that just leaves me, DMing Hadley. He, him pronouns here for about 65 or so percent of your DMing needs. Because I passed my test and am now a certified therapeutic game master, which means that I can play in your brain hole under the supervision of a medical professional. It's true.
Wait. Like you have to be in front of the therapist?
So, in a technical medical setting, which is considered more than therapeutic, actually therapy. So the things we do here might be considered therapeutic because they give you an escape. They provide a safe space for you to delve into different aspects of your own character, allow you to be more social, and allow you some release and a distraction from the ridiculousness of the world. Those things are therapeutic, but they are not capital T therapy. Now, in that case, I am now certified to offer my services to people who are capital T therapists or counselors or psychiatrists or psychologists, where my understanding of their practices allows me to work in tandem with them to offer capital T therapy where people have a program that they are working on and are specifically attempting to get better at socializing or get better at decision making processes or to become more empathetic.
All of
And
the above, please.
yeah, yeah, I'm working on it. The difference being that this is not a medical setting, but I am still better for it for having had that training. Now, in a capital T therapy, I can work with individuals or groups or families and partner on a plan to aid them through gameplay, which is super exciting. So, looking forward to offering that. I'm not gonna do y'all. Not gonna do maps. I'm not gonna do it. It just seems a waste. Yeah.
I
If
need a
somebody,
map. You have a brain. We can imagine it.
some people can't,
Oh,
and so this would also be another opportunity to sort of work on visualization and uh, separating self from character, which is interesting because I think that's called disintegration. And I'm like, disintegration? I cast disintegration ray.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah, that's so good. Yes. So I'm very excited about bringing those offerings to the table and helping people, you know, however I can. Because I might be everybody's dad, but I can't always be there to help when you need it. So it's a new opportunity for me. But that's neither here nor there. Because tonight we're playing a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons. And I'd like to bring everybody back together as best I can. Um, but I think, we have to resolve something first. Yeah. Uh, Phileas, hey. Uh, you and Shiny, when last we played, established that y'all were at Chris's house. Chris Kringle, for those who didn't.
How the heck did we get there? Because last thing I remember, we were getting beat up by a lady that was laughing at us.
That's correct. That's correct. And then you decided not to to join us. And so I had to resolve some things without you. Yeah, same. Chris came to your rescue, kind of, and whisked y'all away, along with Tyth, who had recovered somewhat from his the effects of the north wind, and given Phileas's frustration, the last thing we heard in canon was Phileas giving old Chris Kringle what for.
Wait, what was I doing? Giving Chris
Yelling,
Kringle
you were
what?
yelling at Santa Claus.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves to be yelled at.
Well, I'm inviting you now to sit in an airport and shout at Santa Claus.
This is for Rachel, you big nasty ass.
So he's trying to swoop in and save it, or I'm at his house and yelling at him. Can you set the scene here?
Yes, Chris Kringle, having witnessed the last of this battle, retrieved your party from the mountain at the North Pole, and brought you and Tyth back to his house. And Portobello and Tyth, bearing witness to this exchange, were stepped outside and were met by a chieftain. But not before we saw Phileas throw a mug of hot chocolate across the room.
Yeah. I just don't understand why nobody at this dang place listens. Like, it's really simple. I just need to have a simple conversation with one person about how to find Willow, and that's it. That's it. Nobody listens to me. I don't understand.
I'm sorry that you don't understand, my child, but no one knows where Willow is. If we knew where he was, then obviously your job would be done here and we could return him to his rightful place. But, well, I just don't think that anyone here knows where he is.
Then what was the whole point of us being here? So are you telling me now that not only is every Fae in the Winter Court incompetent, but the Spring Court as well? So you
I
guys are all just completely and totally just
would
dumb.
be careful about how you speak of the members of the Sealy Court. And you see Jessica, she, instead of handing you a fresh hot chocolate, has prestidigitized the spilled hot chocolate and retrieved your mug, served a fresh hot chocolate, and set it at the table in the living room here. And we
I
see
don't want your dang chocolate, Jessica.
um, she smiles, her cheeks rosy, and sort of and makes her way back to the kitchen. And Chris stands before the hearth, the flames seeming to rise up with your anger in kind. Um, Shiny, what are you doing? Yeah. Uh, okay, fair. Fair. That's fair. There's two hot chocolates, both with peppermint sticks in them. Not
I asked too.
not the cheap, hard, crappy ones. The nice, thick ones where you bite in and they sort of crumble into a delectable sweet powder of peppermint. The ones that melt into the hot chocolate so delightfully and float on the surface with little flecks of white and red. Yeah, yes, Phileas.
As I'm getting frustrated with
Mhm.
Shiny indulging in the hot chocolate and everyone just being really cavalier about all this, I'm gonna fly like straight up to Chris's face,
Mhm.
like right here.
Mhm.
Okay, and I'm gonna be like, listen, jolly one. Okay, listen. We had Willow. Okay, we saved him. We are going to take him to the. Wait, hold on. Uh, is the Sealy court the spring court and the
Yes.
Unsealy is the winter? Okay, thank you. Okay. Anyway, we had Willow. We're going to take him to the Sealy court to try and plant him in a very nice new planter. We figured that would help everybody out, okay? On our way there, some fancy, really, really mean, really, really tyrannical elf guy kidnapped me, put me in a box, took Willow, and then get this, okay? So and then we go in front of Titania, and she's like, oh no, Willow's been stolen. That guy's a bad guy, but she doesn't do anything about it. And then she's like, you guys have to go to the Unsealy court. I'm like, is that where we're gonna find Willow? And she says, yeah, that's where you're gonna find Willow. And now you're telling me you don't even know where Willow is. So I just don't understand why I'm here. I don't. This is a waste of time. This chocolate is a waste of time. Your stupid fire, waste of time. Your beautiful wife, waste of time. We need to get out of here. We have to
Uh,
go find Willow.
the his eyes shift only briefly as he looks over your shoulder to see her clutch her literal pearls. And his face contorts with pain at the suggestion. And he actually looks uh he looks a bit downtrodden. This rant is not without its impact. It is affecting him. His stoicism beginning to wane. And he says, now I understand your frustration as best a
Do you actually? Do
man
you really?
can. So I will ask this kindly of you, please. Save your ire for those who deserve it. My wife has done nothing but be hospitable, and I have done what I can to ensure that your quest is completed. But no one of us has the power to find your patron.
Listen,
I.
Jessica,
Eh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. He's right. But all you've done is point us in the direction of two people who refused to talk to us. One of them we got into a fight with. The other one you say I just can't reason with, even though I already reasoned with it a little bit. We had a pretty decent conversation. We had what I guess what might be a business transaction. Maybe I just should go find the North Wind myself.
Hey, Phileas.
What?
She did talk to us before we fought. And this
She
chocolate
did?
is really good. And last thing I remembered was you was dead and I just died and then got back up and I was gonna save you. And now I'm here and I have your hot chocolate and I have my hot chocolate. And I've only drank some of your hot chocolate, but if you want it, you could have it back because it's really good. And we could maybe figure out how to find Willow now, since we were going to the North Wind, or no, to Chione to have the North Wind stop cursing Tide, right? So here, have some hot chocolate, and let's figure out how to find Willow, please. Okay, please.
I really appreciate the offer for the chocolate, but the chocolate's not Willow, and I don't want anything now
Okay.
unless it's literally Willow in my hands. I will
Okay.
not accept anything else. I will stay up for however long it takes. I won't eat I won't drink. I don't need anything but Willow right now.
Have you tried praying to Willow?
I have, and I can't hear him. And then Julius just starts like bawling on the ground in front of the fire, just like nonstop, like snot and tears coming out of their eyes. It's like getting mixed into their hair. They're eating some of it. It's just it's like as ugly of a cry as you could possibly get.
Should what if we all prayed to Willow? Maybe what do you think that would help at all?
You would all pray to Willow with me.
I don't know. I would, because I have no reason not to.
That's really nice. Uh, for, do you, do you, Chris, you know powerful magic stuff. Do you think that could work if we all tried to reach him? Maybe we wouldn't all get his voicemail.
You see Chris start to smile, his cheeks beginning to swell and turn rosy, and he says, "The root of magic is intention, and when there is shared intention, the power of magic grows."
Oh, like when I wanted to go to the moon.
Yes, yes, precisely. If
I went so tall because I was like almost there,
but
but I
that
was on the ground.
that sounds like exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Intention drove you upwards.
Oh, we just need to intend to have Willow. That's all you gotta do, right?
There,
I've tried that before.
have you asked for help from others to try that before?
No, I was in a box when I did it first, and that didn't work because it was like anti magic. Then I got out of the box and I did it again, and I failed.
That's quite a shame.
Let's try it.
Portobello, will you pray to Willow with
Oh,
us?
we gotta go find Portobello.
And oh, Portobello's not here. Oh, it's just me and Shiny. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We could pray.
Wait, but you said Portobello, and I don't see Portobello. Why don't we see Portobello? Mr. Dead
Kringle.
Moros? Dead Moros?
That's a very sensitive name, but
When I remembered you from before, when Portobello told us the story, that's what I remembered. So,
I do prefer Chris. It just seems easier and it doesn't remind me of some of the things I've done in my past.
oh, we all do stuff in our past.
That's
That's called
100%
yesterday.
accurate, correct, yes.
We don't all eat children though. It's just throwing it out
That's not me, that's Krampus, that's his job. And he doesn't just eat children.
Technically, if you eat eggs ever, you eat children.
There's
So
a
I've
very
eaten
large
children.
difference between ovum and children.
Yeah. The eggs aren't fertilized. They're not actually children yet, Shiny. They're just.
Sometimes they are.
It is actually very clear that before the first breath is taken, something is not a child.
Right. Okay, so we were gonna pray to Willow, right? That's what we were doing.
You should find your friends, and hopefully they can aid in this process.
So yeah, so when I called you by your other name, that you don't want to be called by anymore, Chris, I'll not call you by that anymore. Wait,
Thank you.
where did you not grab Portobello and Tithe, or did
I
we just
believe
grab?
they stepped out in Phileas's diatribe.
Oh, just a moment ago.
Are you trying to
Yes.
tell me that it's my fault that they left right now? Really? That's where your
If
head's at?
I could have left, I would have left.
This
I feel like that for a guy that goes around giving presents to children, empathy isn't really your strong suit, is it?
Um, it seems to be waning every minute I know you.
question.
Yes.
Um, I have a weird feeling about this, and I'm wondering if Shiny does too. Does this feel like we went backwards in time, sort of? Because isn't that what happened before?
What happened before?
Right?
Phileas was
Didn't
yelling.
I throw my hot chocolate before we went to go see Chiodi? That's what I thought too. I
Yeah,
just
and
wasn't sure if we were
you were
retconning
yelling at
or.
Chris, and
Again, it's starting to
Portobello
become a
and Tyke
trope.
left. And I was just curious if we go backwards in time somehow, because it's Chris Kringle, Santa Claus, and he's got powers over time, maybe. But we still retain our memories, or are we still forward in time, or is our backwards in time our forwards in time now?
I think what you're hoping for is that your friend stops throwing hot chocolate in my house.
Yes,
Did I?
but except because now I have two hot chocolates, so I enjoyed the throwing because then I get two.
What would you like some insight on?
Well, if Shiny's feeling is right, and whether we're time traveling or not.
I'll just go ahead and clear that up for you. No, no,
Okay,
we're not. We're not experiencing a time loop.
dang, those are so much fun.
Yeah, I learned. I learned very young not to fuck with the space time continuum.
I did it. Shiny, I like your idea of praying to Willow together, but there's just two of us here right now, and I don't think this guy's gonna help. I mean, he hasn't really been that helpful thus far, so.
Except for when he's really helpful. So I understand. So let's go find Portobello and Tyke. Do you,
Yeah,
Chris, do
yeah,
you know
yeah.
where they went?
Let's.
Are you gonna go find your friend?
Yeah. Do you know where they went, Chris? Did they went outside? Did they go? Uh, which direction?
Uh,
Oh no, outside. I'm not used to that. We can follow
it's
footprints.
there you go. That's a good shiny.
I know how to track
I'm
things.
just gonna like grab Shiny by the jacket kind of and gently tug on them and be like I said, not very helpful. We'll figure this out. Thanks.
That was a nice compliment. That makes me feel
And then
good. That's helpful.
and then I'm gonna walk out the door just like actually I'm gonna like flit angrily out the door, like carrying Shiny's sleeves.
As you step out the door, you can see light in the distance to the south. You can see daybreak, and as you see the sun barely begin to peek up over the horizon to the south, you can hear the sounds of people as they are beginning their day. You can see as people again are coming out for this rare bit of daylight to trade and share and visit. And the town very quickly springs to life. And you can see people out, these Eleutians, as they trundle their way around. In fact, more than a few of them wave to the two of you as you are, as you make your way from Kris Kringle's house, and then carry on as they make their way to various little shops and stores and tents and markets. And as you look out, you can see the very large, sort of eternal flame here in the middle of the town of Alpuk. And it doesn't take too long for you to see Portobello. It's not difficult. Portobello is taller than most of the buildings around here. And they seem to be striding alone from the largest building in town on the north side. What looks like probably some bureaucratic center or temple at the very top of the city. And they look a little emotional. Tythe's not with them, having wandered off, wrestling with his own issues. But there's Portobello right there.
Portobello!
Hello.
Run.
Portobello, we've been looking everywhere for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Not really.
Do you want a hug?
Yes. Scoop up the biggie.
Phileas needs hugs too, so get in here,
No, I
Phileas.
don't. No, I don't. I don't need any hugs. Thank you.
They
I'm
obviously
fine.
do. They obviously do need a hug. You don't have to roll an insight check. You can tell.
You are getting hugged. This is a threat.
Scoop.
I'm just kind of like that dog that you're snuggling that clearly doesn't want to be snuggled, and it's like pulling its face away, just like ugh.
Roll me.
But the tail is still wagging.
I was about to say, yeah. Roll me a wisdom or Constitution saving throw. I could do it for you.
You have to do that for me.
I don't mind. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see what we get. That's a 7. You can't fight it.
Can't fight what? The hug or the comfort the hug brings?
Both the comfort and the effect of it on you emotionally.
Shiny starts
I think their body would probably just go limp.
That's fair. How about their tear ducts?
I mean, they've pretty much been nonstop crying for like days now, so
just wore out.
It's not really any different, you know.
And it's fair. Just constant slow pressure.
So now that we're all together, and we're hugging, is that better, Portobello? Do you want to tell us about it? Do you need more than hugs?
Well, you should both know that Taif and I were talking to the Chief Kasuke, and we've come to the decision, I guess, that we shouldn't really follow what any of the courts are saying, and that if we want to find Will, we will need to follow our own intuition, I guess.
Oh, that's good news, because that's just what we found out. And like when we were back at the other place, and I intended to go to the moon, and I grew up to the moon, and I was almost at the moon. If we do that with Willow, we should probably be able to get Willow because we intend to have Willow in our hands, just like this. We're just going poof, and we'll have Willow maybe. But we have to intend.
Portabella, that sounds like hooey to you.
Yeah.
In case there was any question, that sounds like hooey.
We are also thinking about praying to Willow to see if we can find Willow, so that way Phileas can hear Willow.
We can try that. But
How are we gonna try that without type? I'm so confused. I'm just so confused. Titania said we had to come here, and now you're saying we have to find our own way, and Chris is saying something completely different. I think I just need to go find Willow on my own, you guys.
Well, that doesn't sound right because we're all supposed to find Willow together because we're all on this quest together. So I think you're right when you say we have to find Tithe, and then with Tithe we can find Willow. With the four of us.
Portabella, where did Tithe go? Also, can I sit on your hat?
you can sit on my head. It's fine.
At this point, Phileas is just sulking on Portabella's hat and kind of just like dissociating in a way. just not entirely there.
That is the most Faye thing. Just an angry pixie wearing a dandelion puff jacket, sitting on top of the mushroom hats of a furbolg. Anyways, so Hadley, do I know where Typh is?
He strode off towards the southwest. He obviously was struggling with both what he learned about himself and what he learned about your mission. And if you, I would say this would be a good time for you as Portabella to share what you know, and offer some perspective, which is what the title of last week's episode was. Perspective.
Wait, okay. What about what I know about Typh now, or about our situation?
About your situation at large.
Okay, well now I need to think about what I remember.
Okay, and I'll spackle any gaps.
Okay, because I remember Liz said that's basically the Kastake said that the courts really shouldn't be trusted because they don't really know shit.
Yeah. It was slightly more specific than that, but yes.
Well, my brain has been so fucking mushy lately. I don't know why, but it just keeps getting worse. So
Would you like to cast exposition?
Do you want you going?
I'll do it if you would like. I can sort of walk everybody through the finer points of what Kasuke shared with you.
Yeah, you'll probably have to get the detail. I remember that part, and then I also remember that their stick fortune telling
correct
said that we were going to see war.
Correct.
And
two things.
We're going to see war?
War.
Like as in a character named War?
Nope.
No, as in like the courts are going to go to war with each other.
Oh, that's less fun.
Not poggers, my dude.
Correct. Anti-poggers.
No pogs here.
Yeah. So when Typh and Portabella met with Kasuke is the chief of the Eleutians. And she sort of defined herself as the line between order and chaos here at the North Pole. She is the arguably matriarch of
Boss
many,
babe.
yeah, boss babe,
Boss bitch moment.
correct, of many of these different Eleutian tribes. For generations, they were warring people. And she came to power by bringing these tribes together, offering a place here in Alpuk to trade and gather, share information and resources instead of squabbling with one another and causing their numbers to diminish. And because of the influence of the Unseelie court here, their existence was also threatened. And she expressed that it is through her strength and position and her evidenced ability to divine things that she is able to keep these groups together and keep them from descending into war amongst themselves. She also keeps the Unseelie court from interfering in the lives of the Eleutians, because now, as banded tribes, they are able to resist any influences by the Fae. The threat that they could, yeah, they are sufficient in number that she could essentially call a significant army if need be, and through that influence is able to maintain a tentative relationship with the Unseelie court. But it came to light that she had divined that your party was sent here under false pretense, much to Phileas's point earlier. The Seelie court, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. I told you guys. I just want this moment to be remembered.
The Seelie court was essentially getting y'all out of the way. And it seems apparent to her as she was doing some divination that two things stood out. The first is deception, which seems to be underpinning the experience of your party. You're being deceived. The second thing is prognostication, and that was war. War is on the horizon. And it was her take on this that the war is coming no matter what, but that your party can influence how bad it is, how long it lasts. And so it's not that she's able to give you enough insight to change the future wholesale, but you could influence it so that things aren't quite so bad.
So, how how would Kosuke be able to make it so it's not so bad?
Well, it's not Kosuke, it's y'all. Y'all gotta make it not so bad.
Yeah, but you said
How are
that she
we
said it.
supposed to make it not so bad? Look, I just started this day, just this day that's turned into weeks, just looking for a really, really good home for Willow. And now you're saying that we've been tricked into becoming Fae war heroes? I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to save Willow's life, and right now none of this is getting me any closer to Willow.
First, that's very accurate. And second, the general sense is that the Sealy Court is more interested in war than in saving Willow. And sort of to step out of character for a moment and give you guys a little more direct exposition, the Sealy Court is using Willow's passing, flagging, as an excuse to muster troops, specifically of the Golden Guard. And I think that with enough insight, yes, Finn.
I'm not too great on history, but isn't that how World War One started?
Kind of. The problem with World War One was allegiances. There were the individual allegiances between nation states were essentially called into play, and so this country had to fight this country because they're friends with this
Yeah,
country,
because
and
didn't
not
like
that
someone did
country.
something to Austria, and then Austria's friends were like, "Oh no, you can't fuck with Austria. That's our friend." And then and a bunch of people were like, "Well, you fucking with my friend that fucked with your friend, so I'm gonna fuck with you."
Correct. So kinda. Yes, Tifa.
Did we get any sense of an idea of Sandy's role in all of this?
No. The short answer is no.
But
But
she did say that she was going to be watching us, right?
correct.
So I think after hearing all of this, Phileas becomes again very enraged, but also then immediately starts to look up at the sky, and she would know that they're talking to her. Portobello and Shiny probably wouldn't, but I just look up at the sky and I say, "Did you know about this the whole time?"
The shouts deaden almost immediately. There's nothing on this expanse for them to echo against, save some canvas huts. But you do see the flames of this eternal torch in the middle of town begin to whip and flicker as the wind kicks up.
This is the first time I've heard of it, Phileas.
Oh, sorry, Shiny. I was yelling at Sayonine. I mean, don't you think that if we were going to just be set here as a distraction, that maybe Sayonine would know? And if she were a nice person, she would maybe let us know about that? I mean, she just set us here. She made it seem like Titania was totally right. And she made it seem like we were going to find what we were looking for, humans. And then she sent us here, and now we're here. And we're no closer to getting any answers. I just feel really played with right now.
Well, yeah, we're getting played with a little bit, but so Sandy did say that we were going to have unspeakable challenges ahead of us, and that she was going to be watching us, and that we had to come here. That was like all put into play. Maybe if she did know, somebody had to tell her that this is what is going to happen. Maybe maybe they have a favor with her and she had to do it because they said, remember that time I gave you a flower? And I remember that time you gave me a flower, Phileas. So you have a favor with me. So maybe then they called in that favor and said, now you owe me a cupcake and you got to bake a cupcake and go, okay, here you go.
Well, that means that you guys are in big
cupcake.
trouble because you guys accepted so much stuff from all these people. You guys probably owe so many favors to all these stupid, tricky fae. What, you know, I'm a pixie. I don't go around tricking people for their help. I just either do it myself or ask.
Maybe. Oh, but didn't Chris say that he's given us everything free of any obligations?
I don't trust anything that man says. And at this point, either I don't trust anyone that anyone says except for you and Ty and Portabella. I don't trust anyone here. In fact, I think, you know what a great... you know how we could solve all this, you guys? I have a great idea. Actually, you know what? I have a great idea on how we could solve all of this. Why don't we just kill everyone in both the Fae courts? Boom. Problem solved.
As you say that, you look around and you see that there's about, I'd say, 30 to 40 Eolusians stopped dead in their tracks, looking at the three of you in the middle of this town.
What are you looking at?
They very quickly just and start.
Yeah, keep walking.
Yeah,
Mind your business.
Well, what if we just found Willow like what we're supposed to do instead of doing that, and then maybe we can put that on the table for discussion.
How are we supposed to find Willow? We're at the North Pole, Shiny. I bet you Willow's not even here. I bet you Titania sent us all the way over here because Willow's back over there. I bet you Titania is the one who sent that mean, fancy elf to kidnap me and steal Willow.
So then we just go to the moon and then we go back over there and then we come back down and then we're there and then we find Willow. Why is this so difficult? It's just easy. We just do what we did before.
I'm really just absolutely hating your optimism right now. It's making me want to puke.
Yeah. Okay, if you need to puke, you can. You should do it.
As soon as they say that, because of how optimistic it is, Phileas just begins.
I mean, you want to roll me a performance check? Can you do that on command? Can't hear you. Talking. Your headphones die. No.
We can't hear you.
Ativa, come back. We can't hear a word you say. Nope, bad. Nope, 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 nope.
So, Portabella, does that mean does that sound like a good plan to you? We go find Type, we go to the moon, we go to back to, and then we get to Willow.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That was weird. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Welcome back. What do you think there, Portabella?
Yes, we should, if we can travel back by moon, that would probably be the quickest way, but the best option is to go back near where the Sealy Court is, since that is where Will last was. And Louis, do you know who the people were that took Will? Do you know what they look like?
Yeah, he was big and fancy and mean and stupid looking.
Well, that's very vague, but
Finn, you're great. I love you so much.
You know, he was wearing one of those fancy elf outfits, and he had long elf hair and had those elf ears and just that scowling elf face. And that's, I mean, I don't know what more you want from me, Portabella. Okay. By the way, did I end up puking on Portabella's hat or no?
I wanted to wait until you were back to see if you could do it on command.
I think
Yes.
Louis, I think that's racial profiling.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm glad that Portabella picked up on Phileas's not
innate
great
prejudices.
description.
That's a 15. It's a lot of you know.
Yeah, what am I flirting or am I puking? What's going on here?
It's
So I'm just gagging?
there's just nothing. You didn't have enough hot chocolate to throw it up.
Gotcha. So Shiny continues with their optimism, and you just see Phileas pacing on Portabella's hat, going,
I like that. Correct.
And with each time that they do it, too, I don't know how it would be possible, but their hair becomes even more emo looking.
Like, it's just because it's all just falling forward. And
yeah, the more they gag, the more they just look like that kid that smelled like cat pee and drew weird pictures in their notebook.
All right,
it's
school. Fine. Yeah, I remember that kid. He got taken to the principal's office after the Columbine shooting. I was there. It's fine. I got it. I know who you're talking about. It's fine. Here's my question for all of you. What the hell are you gonna do about it? I know there's an idea that you guys want to go back to the moon. Okay? That is an idea. But you
maybe because we're in the Unseelie Court, we have to go to the sun instead.
Ill-advised. Especially since you can't see the sun from here. Also, while you guys are having this conversation, it's not. It literally just pokes up over the horizon and then goes back down.
It was sunny.
I said it was daybreak.
Here's the thing, Mr. Goddamn Guy in the Sky, is that we just don't really have much to go off right now on what our next step should be.
Well, maybe you should talk to one another.
Next step
and
is to get,
you could
to get tight.
That's probably a good next step. Not wrong.
But I'm not walking. Portabella is, so she has to take the next step.
So here's what I'd like to do here, because you're right. There's not a lot of leads, but I would like for you as characters to discuss what you think you should do. I would like for you, if you need to make checks, history checks. One of my favorites is I know a guy. Introduce some options of what you could do to get closer to where you want to go. Currently, you have been led astray. It is very clear, it's very evident that you have been deceived. The people you thought were helping you were not helping you. I'm amazed that all of you are like, these fae creatures are so helpful. I'm just going to go do exactly what they tell us to do.
For the record, not all of us were, okay? Not all of us were, actually.
And yet you did.
Oh, well, one, Portabella's just too sweet and naive.
I agree.
2, to our options really are just trust them and go with it, or just wander
Or
around and hope
fight
that we
them
get
and die.
seen. So
Well, you might need to phone a friend.
And to throw it
We
out there,
are each
we
other's
didn't
friends.
just
I mean, I don't
accept these
know
like
if I-
glorious gifts.
I don't
We
Could you
had to
not?
work really hard at
Yeah,
convincing them
yeah,
to help us.
we did. That's
sure.
true.
Sure.
I mean, they did not help us at all. I mean,
And we
they
still
level
got
up with the Steely Chorus.
played. Okay, I would
Correct.
like to. Okay, so I would like to roll whatever I need to roll to find out. Do you think, because obviously like Phileas is a pretty social character, and in Phileas's glory days
Sure.
when Willow was still thriving and healthy and amazing, I'm sure that Phileas had tons of fae friends who like also followed Willow and like
Sure.
worshipped Willow in the same
Friends in
way
college.
that Phileas
Right.
does. So like,
From Warlock College.
sure.
Oh, what about what's the college we established in this universe? What was it called?
Feyburgers? No, that's
So
that
So,
would
like-
that would be the College of Magical Excellence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess basically Phileas is right now brooding,
Sure.
and not engaging in conversation with Shiny or Portobello on what they should do, but just kind of brooding. And if anything comes of this check, I'm essentially looking for someone who would have been as devoted to Willow as Phileas is, that maybe would pop in their head as like, this person is probably currently looking for Willow too.
Okay. I'm not going to make you make a check. I'm going to consider that I know a guy. So you can come up with a name, or I can come up with a name for this person. It's up to you.
The name of this person is going to be.
It's gonna be
Bruno Duran.
It's gonna be.
It's not gonna be Bruno Duran.
Simone.
First of all, Bruno is a
It's
bard.
gonna
He's
be
really annoying.
Simone.
No.
It's gonna be Roger Taylor.
No.
It's gonna be Nick Rhodes.
It's actually gonna be Nagora.
It's gonna. I'm not. No, we're not calling a character that.
Why? Wait, why? Is there something I should know? I literally just made that up off the top of my head right now. I just sounded fantasy like. I was thinking of sushi.
Sounds. Then let's just call him Nagori. No, I don't like that.
Okay.
Let's find another name.
Okay. Different name. Completely. I get. Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from now. Completely different name. Hold on.
How about Virna Lisi?
Sure. That's fine. You're more creative than me. It's fine. I suck.
I'm not, but you might really like this line of that I followed to find this name. So Duran derives its name from Durand, a villain in the movie Barbarella. Which, if you haven't seen it, it is a ridiculous sort of like pulp space comedy. The Orgasmatron. I'll just say that. That's all you need to know. One of the individuals who tried out for the titular role is Virna Pieralisi or Virna Lisi. And so that's going to be who this is. Just saying. Okay. You can feel free to sort of fill in your head who that person is and their relationship.
So
Uh,
Portabella, um, we we know that you said that Tyth went off by himself because he had learned stuff about himself. Should we should we know about it, or is it more personal for him? Should we give him time to be by himself? What do you feel?
He should be the one to share with you. I don't want to share it if he doesn't want anyone else to know. So, let
Okay.
that's very considerate of you, Shiny. Pat, pat.
Um, but nice. Um, I'm sure that all that it would take would be also if we gave him a hug. You'd feel better too, because I feel better after my hug. Do you feel better after your hug?
Yes.
Do you need more
Hugs
hugs?
are like emotional band-aids.
You're brooding up there, you said. Okay. So, all right. So, if we get Tithe, we give Tithe some time, maybe for themselves, because that's what they want. But then they also need a hug. Then we get Tithe a hug. Then we could talk more, but I think that all really we need is just to go back to the moon, right? And we do that with intention, like what we did before. And then we talk to, say, Annie, and we have whatever we need to say with her. And then it's probably going to take a long time for us to get back to the Sealy court. But once we're there, then we can start looking for Willow again. And we can try to use intention there too, because intention there, like what Chris said, and like what I believe it was Titania said. Right? Did I just say that wrong?
I don't think we should do anything Titania said.
No, she made us go to the moon, and we went to the moon because of our
Like
intention.
fools,
So
because that's what we're fools.
So what Shiny is saying is that traveling through the moon is our fastest form of travel. If we were to try to travel back to the spring court on foot, it would probably take much longer than waiting on the moon for it to.
But why would we want to go back to the spring court?
Because that is where we last saw Willow. It is
um,
our.
yeah, as you say, where we last saw Willow, you hear a soft voice from down on the ground. Ah, you are the others sent by Titania. And as you all sort of look down, Phileas, you over the edge of Portabella's hat, you see a small woman, an Eolution. She is, as you would expect, wearing thick furs. She has unpinned the bone glasses
Oh, I know a
from
good reference.
her. Yes,
Give me a moment to Google search.
sure. Hacker noises intensify.
Yeah, I gotta have you just to find this per this character.
And you can see her soft face and dark blue eyes. And she removes a cover of shearling from her face. And she says, "You are not fools, but you have been played as such. Portabella and I have had the pleasure of meeting. I am Casque. And you see this woman. She has dark skin, deep blue eyes, and her face is wrinkled and leathery. She looks absolutely ancient, which is also a little bit anachronistic because she's about the size of a small child. And she says, I am sorry for the challenges that you faced getting here, but you will face even greater challenges. Now you're not far off. Yeah, you're pretty
Yay.
fucking close. Yep. You're onto something.
Thank you, the Arcana, for being a
Uh,
great level.
yeah, not bad inspo to draw from. Uh, but you will face much greater challenges moving ahead. The closer you get to Willow, the more people will try to stop you.
Ooh, that'll be good to know. So like, are you going to try to stop us?
I will not. I have
They were so
enough.
far away.
That is correct.
Oh wait, I'm. Last time we were really trusting. Are we supposed? I can't ask you that.
I
Portabella.
understand that your fears of being deceived are so prevalent, but they are also very appropriate.
You said so. You're like a fortune teller, right?
That is a very dismissive way of expressing what I do.
But so you're clairvoyant. You can read what those are too ignorant to miss.
Hey,
Hey, what? It's true. I can't either. Can you
I
tell me where Willow is right now, Shiny?
I fear that no one can tell you where Willow is right now. Well, no one that you would ask. But that is not the point.
What does that even mean?
It means that whoever has Willow or had Willow has likely hidden them from view, hidden them from scrying, and hidden them from those who would use his strength to restore balance in our world.
oh, that's so smart.
It is unfortunately well thought out. I could not find him in my scrying, which means that someone intentionally hides him from us.
I'm not gonna lie, Ativa's never played a campaign of D&D this fucking frustrating, Hadley. I legitimately do not even know how to fucking role play right now, and I'm actually getting upset about it.
Love it.
Like, I'm just
Brains hurt.
throwing that out there.
You're welcome. I'm glad it's working.
The three of them are all there with
No,
like the
it's
meme of the
not
equations around their
working.
head.
It's working. It's
It's your
perfect. It's
job. It is
working
your
according
job
to
to.
plan.
It is your job to foster an environment for us to role play in. And right now, you are making
You are role
it very
playing. You're
hard
doing a
to do
great
so.
job. You're doing a
Yeah, it's
phenomenal
really
job.
convincing.
So I remember a lot of the names of the folks at the Sealy Court. Maybe it's one of them, but I don't remember who does what. Except for who is the boss. It's been so long. It's been I don't even I
It's
can't
been
tell time
weeks.
up here.
It's been weeks.
I can't tell time up here.
No, it is.
At least it was
not
at least
easy.
3 hot chocolates ago. So that's as many hot chocolates I remember having right now. Also, I died once, so
That's a shame. I'm glad you're back. Yeah, Tiva.
Um, I think I want to secretly call out to the north wind again.
Okay, what do you say?
I would probably, so first of all, I would probably fly off Portobella's hat, and just kind of fly up, and just to give some exposition here on what's going on is that Phileas is just like so frustrated with the situation at this point, and so angry, especially at Titania, whom he like really thought was going to help them find Willow, and is just feeling incredibly betrayed at the moment. And he I don't know how to word it, but Phileas wants to make a deal with the North Wind. Another deal with the North Wind. So he's gonna say, listen, I'm out of options here. I don't trust you, but you know what? At least you seem like a pretty straightforward guy. I offered you my service. You helped me out. I'm gonna do that again. I'll help you. I'll help you defeat the Sealy Court if you just give me Willow back.
The rest of you notice the wind dying down, and Phileas, an insight check of 4 produces very little confidence that anyone out there's on your side about this. And an insight check on the part of Kaske says, child, you cannot bargain with him.
I think Phileas will like slowly lower themselves in the sky, and very resolved to be like, I know, and I'm not a child. I'm literally over 100 years old. I'm just out of options here, Kaske. I'll do anything.
Well, first, it is important that you know that those with power do not often accept deals from those without it.
I don't care about power. I don't care about this stupid war. I don't care who wins. I don't care which court ends up on top. I just want to plant Willow in a pot and put him on my windowsill until he's healthy enough to go in the ground, and so that we can live out the rest of our days together.
That is an admirable thing.
So then let's do it.
We're
Yes.
never gonna be able to as pawns in these stupid war games, Shiny. Have you ever been in a war? Do you know?
Hey! You shut your mouth.
Roll me an intimidation check with disadvantage, please.
Right, because Phileas is a little more shocked than intimidated right now.
There. I think everyone's shocked. We're just going to see if it actually sticks.
13.
Yeah, that really is terrifying. No.
Better than average. Definitely better than average.
And Shiny's eyes are not, they're the one time when they're not smiling.
What was your other roll?
The other roll was a 12, so it would have been a 14.
Okay.
I rolled an 11 and a 12. So just right there, both right there.
Yeah, that's narrative, baby.
Yeah. So look, you want to do this, but you keep you keep putting negative thoughts on yourself and on your intentions. And this is all about intentions. Everyone tells us that this is about intentions. And when you put negative, when you make negative spots on your intentions where you just are going the opposite direction than what you're supposed to be going, they're going to always be there. So you need to be nicer to yourself, and you should positively think about what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it.
I don't care.
So
they're
wait,
trying
so
to
with
straight
that
back.
13,
Amen. Just amen.
so with that 13 though, am I actually intimidated?
I don't think you're intimidated. I think
Okay.
that, but there's no way you're unaffected by the logic that Shiny has provided. You might not be scared. You might not be scared of them,
That's fair,
but
but
Shiny's right.
that's super fair. But in the mindset that Phileas is in right now, without actually being scared of Shiny,
Sure.
Phileas is going to fly right up to Shiny's face.
Okay.
You're
And
going to get pulled away.
and also in a very stern, intimidating way, say, I started this mission with nothing but the best intention, Shiny, and look where we are now.
I'm gonna make you roll a wisdom saving throw, Phileas.
Do it.
And that is because Kosuke is casting calm emotions on you.
That's fair.
And
That's super fair.
it was a 6 on the die, plus your
Nice.
3 to the wisdom saving throw brings
Yes.
you to a
So it
whopping
literally actually doesn't matter who rolls my dice, I just
9.
suck.
Yeah. You just need to make sure you're using your pansexual dice like Finn does, and then you can roll well. If you don't have pansexual dice, then you obviously need them.
Yeah, and they're also glittery, so.
Right.
My dice are glittery and rainbow. I don't know how much more. I don't know what else I could do.
Damn, maybe,
I mean,
maybe you gotta find dice that's specifically of the flag that is you.
yeah, it's you're not. What it is you're not gay enough.
Great.
Oh no, you've been vibe checked, but gay.
Great. That's literally only the thing that
been
everyone's been telling me my whole life. Thanks.
Gay to keep. That's risky.
I'm not straight enough for the straights, but I'm not gay enough for the gay. That's me. All right.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on from personal trauma
Same.
responses. So my emotions are calmed.
Your emotions are calmed. You cannot currently experience strong emotions. It's not that you don't feel emotions, it's just that the rage bubbling up inside you subsides. You are in a place where fundamentally you could process what's going on more easily. And I think I'm not going to necessarily foist this upon Phileas, but I do think it's appropriate that you would realize that your behavior towards your friends has been inappropriate.
And with Phileas just right there, Shiny would reach out and offer another hug. And I love you, and we can do this.
think Phileas goes in for the hug, and as they're hugging, he's just like, "Can you just put me to sleep forever, please?"
Once we get Willow.
I'm gonna need to call safe to say.
Nice. Jesus, Finn, you've been knocking it out of the park. Y'all have all actually been very good tonight. I really love this. It's been a great dynamic.
That's
That
just
gives
that's just like
I am
Portobello
very
inspiration.
truly frustrated in real life, so
I am offering this session. I want to be very clear. My intention of this session is not to frustrate. It is to start allowing you as characters to start seeking solutions. That is what this is about. Now, I think it's very appropriate to express frustration. I think it's great. I think that as the character, as Phileas, I think that your expressions and your frustrations and all of this is A+ on character. Uh,
yeah, am I a weirdo for liking this more? Like, I prefer having emotional problem solving than going into a dungeon and fighting dragons. This is
Yes.
more real to me.
I think that there's a lot to be said for that. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, I mean, and I just want to sort of get an idea of what we had so far. So far, the ideas that have been presented are go to the moon, try to go back to, if not the Sealy court, somewhere closer to where Willow was.
The spring area.
Yes. Um, some insight checks or arcana checks on that would be appropriate in case anybody wanted to do that. Um, Phileas has someone potentially in that area who they could turn to and see what they've found out. I really like that idea. Yeah, Finn.
I don't know if I should like share in character now, but like, I don't think Portobello would like. I mean, she might know someone who's a follower of Will. I feel like being that like she's cottage core and that they're like literally a tree that like that might be someone she would know. But like the fact also the fact that she works at a library, so like
Right.
you
I
know
mean,
they're
a history check would be appropriate, even if it's not someone you specifically know. It could be someone of legend that you could reach out to.
Cause I'm thinking because it was I guess a certain group of elves that took Will, so might be able to get some knowledge on who those people are. You know,
Yes,
find their headquarters.
yes,
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated
correct.
after hours. Phineas and Ferb shaped my life.
Love it.
So we never actually like resolved the whole Phileas knowing someone, and I feel at this point he's in a temper tantrum that like would have made that line of thought just completely disappear anyway.
That's a definite out of character sort of understanding.
Okay.
Is there anything that we can do, like for me or Finn, for you, Ativa, that would help? What's going on here? Or is that like, are things, are we not helping move this forward enough? I know that in character I hold back some things, so or put out things that aren't as helpful with sideways thinking. So if I need to change some stuff, I can.
Um, No, I don't know. I just like this whole turn of events, like shifted Phileas's character in general to start acting the way that he has. And so like he's got a whole new character arc, but also it's like not very conducive to the productivity of the campaign itself. And I'm just gonna like at this point I just don't really know what to do with him. Like at this point I kind of actually just want him to wander off in the North Pole and never come back, and I'll just come back as a new character.
Um, I'm not entirely opposed to that.
Wow, thanks.
I am, but
And wow, I love how the offer to say yes is then slapped away. That's nice. That's nice.
I
Well,
mean,
Um,
you're
I say wow
killing.
because
Everyone.
it's not like I want to throw away Phileas as a character at all.
oh,
It's just
oh,
that
well,
it's
I
like
oh, did you think you could so easily? That's
I
not
mean,
how this game works.
your response literally just implied that.
Oh,
Yes,
no, 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 no. Oh, my dear sweet summer court child. The uh
there is no summer court. It's a spring court. Just saying.
I
It's
uh,
both. It's the warm season court.
actually, yeah,
It's the warm court.
yeah, sorry. It's
Unless you live in Pennsylvania like me, where spring is just freezing and then suddenly next day melting.
summer. Yeah.
It's
A
freaking
hard, yeah,
pissing me off.
transition. Yeah, a transitionless shift. Um no, the reason that I'm willing to do this, as I have maybe not in these campaigns with y'all, but it actually has provided certain opportunities for players to craft their own character arcs and then reintroduce them at a later time. There's Bruthel is still out there. These characters don't cease to exist in these worlds. They are canonical. And so if Phileas is to wander off, now I will say Phileas is sort of the crux of the pursuit of Willow. So I don't know that it's appropriate, but I will say that if as a player you don't know where to go with Phileas, that could take time to resolve, or as sort of talking about this session itself, uh, we can resolve out of character what it takes to put him on track. Because again, I have absolutely been almost enamored with the arc that Phileas is dealing with. He's, happy-go-lucky character in the Feywild, finds out that their patron is flagging and dying, is burdened with the task of carrying that patron, and then loses them. This is great narrative. Now, I mean, I bet you could fucking go and look at the actual hero's journey, and you are on like step 3 of 8. You didn't want to have to do this. You didn't want to have to now you are stepping beyond the veil. You are into the unknown. I mean, like, that's what you're doing now. That is the part of the journey, and you are still reluctant.
I mean, no, I'm just pissed, and everyone keeps trying to make me happy, and they just won't let me be pissed. I just want to be pissed about
I think
everything.
about 3 people are trying to make you. Well, I don't know if they're. I think the only thing Shiny's trying to make you not pissed about is focusing intention. And the only reason that Kosuke wants you to calm down is because you're threatening your friends in the middle of her city's fucking plaza. You also threatened some of her citizens passively. So, and
I asked them a simple question. I just asked them what they were looking at.
Yes, that was that it was there was no energy beyond that. It was very you just didn't know what they were looking at.
No, I'm just saying that the asking someone what they're looking at, no matter what tone you use, isn't a threat. Is all I was saying. Actually,
Sounds so
That's not accurate at all. That's not accurate at all. It's literally no, that's wrong.
It's sounding very Karen.
Uh the but my original point stands, and that is from a player perspective. What puts Phileas back on track? I personally enjoy the idea of I know a guy. I think that that's a nice trope that gives you a transition. It puts you back in control as a character. You've been deceived. You've been led astray. You've been threatened. So now the question is, how do you get back? You have to go deeper into the unknown. You have to venture into places and relationships that you're not necessarily going to enjoy. But you will be met with resistance. That was not even a prognostication, as much as it was a promise. The closer you get to Willow, the harder this is going to be. But I don't think with all this rage that Phileas would actually give up. I think that Phileas might need some time alone. That can be accommodated. But I don't think that it's apt to the character or really fundamentally the game. For Phileas to just throw their wings up in the air and give up and stride off into the wilderness and allow their patron to continue to fall into the hands of people who would use his absence as an excuse to start a war.
oh, I'm sorry. Do you need an answer right now?
That's what we're doing here.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. You guys, in the last like 20 minutes, you have broken my brain. So I legitimately don't know.
Then let me get a history check from Portabella, please.
Clinky clanky time. That is 10. For once, not a insanely high roll.
Yeah, no, I love it. What was the roll on the die?
5 plus 5.
Okay. As y'all are sort of struggling with this, you start to think, who could help us? Who do I know? What do I know? I'll say this: you don't know because originally the idea was, who's the Golden Guard? Where are they based out of? How do we figure that out? Right? That was your initial intention around that check. And you don't know where the Golden Guard are based out of. You don't know if they are 100% based out of the city where the Sealy Court is located, which moves with the which moves around throughout the Feywild. But as you are pondering, Kosuke offers up a suggestion. She says, trying to get back to the Sealy Court may not prove easy. You came here by way of the moon, but getting back to the moon from here is no easy task. And if Sehanin is watching you and she is not intent on your success, you may not be able to leave the moon when you go back.
How should we get out of here then? Sort of secluded
That is a wise. Sorry, go ahead.
from the rest of civilization.
She says, I can drive you. We can go to Snowmantle. It is the southernmost city of the north. It is an elven stronghold, but they are so removed from their brothers, perhaps they can offer insight on why the Golden Guard would have taken Willow and why they would vie for war.
Wait, just to, because my brain thought of it when we were up on the moon, there were elves there, or they
Yes.
looked like elves, and when we were in the Sealy Court, there were elves there, and when we're here, have we seen elves?
Her face twists in a very uncomfortable way. You have not seen elves as they are often known.
So if an elf stole Willow, and if this is all with elves, if elves are somehow on a part of this, then with Sayanine, she might not be a part of our help like what we were hoping, because that's what you were just saying, because it would be more difficult. That could, but these are. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, it's like a subspecies of elf. It's not they're elf, but it's not the same.
Can I get an insight check from Portobello, please?
About the evolutionary line of these different elves.
Mm-hmm.
Elf evolution. What was it? Type of
insight, please.
Okay. 22.
Yeah, you think you've been deceived about the elves too.
Shiny's 9. Okay, we don't need to go into detail about that.
Yeah. So you're like, no, I saw elves. They were working in a smithing shop. And then you just sort of bite your lip because you have a feeling that those aren't elves.
Then what are they?
Well, Shiny, you don't know this. But Portobello, you're starting to come around to the fact that they looked a lot like children, and people.
Lucian children or some other children?
He doesn't eat children, he just enslaves them. That's so much better.
And yeah, you start seeing the little things swirl around your head, and you I don't know that actually. No, you were there when Phileas first accused Chris Kringle of eating children. Um, but
And having slaves. I accused him of both.
yeah, yeah, you sure did. But Santa doesn't technically have slaves. And he definitely doesn't eat children. That's Krampus's job, he pointed out. And Krampus doesn't eat children to digest them. He puts them in the demi-plane so that he can regurgitate them up here, and then turn them into slaves. That's what happens when you're a bad child. And
Man,
because
how
you
come I'm
rolled,
not there
and
then?
you rolled because God isn't real, Santa Claus isn't real, Krampus isn't real, God isn't real. Um, you also come to the realization that the reason they call them elves is because of elf racism. The only kind of racism that's allowed in my games.
Damn.
That's probably the only reason why I haven't gotten yelled at yet.
Correct.
Carries over to so many games,
Yeah.
which was why I made it LFR. I was like, what? Why is this happening? I'm going to make an elf.
Yep. It's because as a multi-tiered society, elves are generally pretty awful. Yeah. And punching up is allowed. Punching down is not. Yeah. So Portabella zips her lips and locks the little zipper and then throws away the key as she comes to the disturbing realization of what they do here.
Do the Lucians know, or are they just kind of?
So they know. They know. And it is sort of, I think you'll also know that it's part of this tentative relationship with the Unseelie Court. That those humans who defy the Unseelie Court are turned into Fomorians, and children who misbehave and are snapped up by Krampus are essentially forced to live a life of servitude here at the North Pole.
Oh, and I got more questions. First, why is it all human children? And second, what happens? Are they just not able to age? And if they do age, what happens when they age? Like what
Sure.
happens?
First, I blame the parents. And it is primarily because humans, unlike other races, are colonial in nature and keep pressing into other areas, specifically areas of the Feywild, stealing its resources, trying to extract the magical energy from plants, animals, people, and the earth itself, and because they're easy. They're easily fooled. They're stupid creatures, and tricking them and taking them away doesn't expend a lot of energy, and they're abundant. So, I mean, if they weren't designed to make little sprockets and gears, why would they have such perfect little hands for swinging little hammers?
Do I have perfect little hands for swinging little hammers?
You better believe it, kiddo.
I don't have any little hammers.
Well, someone's gonna fix that named Krampus.
But I can't help it, I'm mentally ill.
um, I mean, you don't know that you're not the changeling that they swapped out the kid with.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I think I might be.
So, just saying.
I think that's what all neurodivergent people are.
Yeah, that's why they came up with the concept of changelings, is because they didn't understand what neurodivergence was.
I also had to realize thing is that the reason why Prince didn't have a name anymore was because the Fae took it.
Oh shit.
I had that realization last night while watching
Prince,
the Muppets
like Prince the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching Muppets Tonight, the episode where Prince was on it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's what.
What a realization.
Like, wait a minute, that's names because the Fae took it.
The Fae took his name.
Because how Muppets Night was handling it, that every time they had to say his name, they just held up a little sign with the symbol on it. They were just like, and our guest tonight is.
Nice. Yeah, you come to some very disturbing realizations about that, which currently haven't been shared in game. But
we didn't answer the question of what happens when they grow up.
Yeah, they are kept perpetually as youth.
That kind of slaps.
A fountain of youth, baby.
Yeah, it's hell.
Oh, because hell is for children.
Hell is children.
True.
No, that's not how the song goes. The song says hell is for children.
I mean, both. But
I can tell you as a paid professional who works with children that hell is children.
I once tried to volunteer to help with children. I never wanted to do it again. It was the worst week of my life.
I blame the parents.
Yeah, probably. But these children, okay.
Nope. We're not going down that path. We get it. We have Dungeons and Dragons to play, and trauma to unpack. Apparently.
Anyways, these kids were very disrespectful to the horses.
And don't like that at all. Yeah, those kids should go to hell. If you're disrespectful to horses, you should go to hell, whether you're a kid or not.
If you slap your grubby little hands on the horse to hit the horse,
don't be surprised.
You go to the North Pole.
Yeah, you're gonna get the bonk. Yeah. So as everybody watches Portobello wrestle with existential dread, Kasuke raises an eyebrow and says, you should probably find your friend and be ready to make your way from here soon. It is a many days' journey from the North Pole to Snowmantle, but it will be faster with me than any other way, besides perhaps Kris Kringle.
Can I do an insight check?
Yes.
Cool. I'm just going to do an insight check on every single character that we encounter now to tell if they're lying or not.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah. That's 12.
Great.
You want me to try? I have a +4 on insight.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and give us an insight check as well there, Portobello. Do you want to insight? You want to be insightful? Everybody give me an insight check on this lady.
Everyone doing a thinking.
Yeah.
16.
14. My +5 didn't help too much.
Okay. Phileas, you're not in a trusting place right now. That's understandable.
I think none of us are, because we just got told that we got lied to so much.
Yeah. I mean,
which is why we're all just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and the fact that Kosuke is the one that sort of told you is not helpful either.
Everyone is sus.
Everyone is sus.
Everyone is imposter among us.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Shiny, your take on Kosuke's sort of perspective is she's offering to get us out of here. That's more than anyone else has offered up. And if if she's if she's trying to be deceitful, you can't seem to find why. You're still milling things about. You don't feel great, but you also just don't feel great. Looking at her, she seems to be forthright. Portabella, you read a little more into this. First, she is not trying to deceive you. She has sort of established that her perspective here is broader and better informed than y'all's. And that's endeared her to you. And I think that there's also a slight underpinning, which is a little unsettling. And that is, it seems like she's trying to get you out of town.
I mean, that's fair. I just discovered their secret.
Yeah, you guys being here is risky. You went to the mountain, and inside the Black Mountain, you saw the Black Diamond. You saw who you thought was Chione, and you later came to the realization that was probably the Queen of Air and Darkness, and not Chione.
Who's the Queen of Air and Darkness?
She's the queen of the
Queen
unsealed
Mab.
court. Queen Mab.
Oh, Queen Mab. Okay.
Yeah, she wasn't salacious and seductive and flirtatious and all the things that Chione is.
I don't know that.
Well,
Yeah, I never saw her.
you guys should have paid attention.
we
Portabella
saw her,
would
but
have figured it out.
I'm too young to know what all that means.
Oh my gosh. You know what?
So naive.
You were like literally the meanest father ever. This is actually child abuse, so.
Are you talking to me? I'll show you child abuse. Sell you to the Eleutians.
At this point, that actually sounds better than the situation I'm in right now. So,
like personally or like as a character?
I think both. I think what my problem right now is that I'm actually feeling Phileas's emotions. So
Yeah, that bleed, that good bleed, baby. It's real and it's understandable, and I appreciate it. I know it's not easy. But yeah, I think Portabella, from your perspective, this lady doesn't want any trouble. She's a bureaucrat. She's insightful. She can, divine certain things. She's tried to help you guys, but she's also, I mean, even in her talking with you and Typh individually, very specifically said, y'all need to get the fuck out of here. That was a significant part of your meeting with her, was her being like, y'all need to go. I don't care where you go, I don't care how you get there, but this place isn't safe for you. And it's not safe since you're here. So she's willing to step in and get you guys out of here.
Okay, so that means we gotta go find Tithe, give Tithe a hug, explain that we're not going to the moon, but we're gonna go to the city, and then we can figure it out from there with the elves that are not like the other elves. Does that sound like the plan?
Yes.
Brood. I am brooding. No response. I just glances.
Broods in Phileas.
Okay, I'm gonna take that silence as a yes then, Phileas. So
But I had said yes, but
yeah, I heard you say yes, Portobello, but we're a team, so I thought we would all get a vote.
And he gives you like this thumbs up, but also glares at you for needing a response.
Okay, that's good for now. Small steps, we'll get there. I'm excited because we have a goal, we have a plan, we just need a Tithe, and then we've got it. And then we find the next step, and the next step, and the next step, and then we have Willow. And then we put Willow in the ground, he grows, and then you both go to sleep forever.
Sorry, I have to add an extra step to your plan, but I'm going to keep it to myself. So I'm going to have to go run some errands before you put me to sleep forever, but then you can put me to sleep forever.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to do what you asked me.
I appreciate your optimistic compliance.
Okay.
Portobello. Casque.
She's like fucking speechless because she's like, she doesn't. I don't think she like. Shani doesn't know what suicide is. She's 9, so she doesn't want. So she doesn't want to talk about it with Phileas upright and then get Shiny upset, but she doesn't want to not say anything either because she's just like.
I think this kind of intervention is not unwarranted. And I think that it's very thoughtful and considerate that you don't corrupt Shiny for want of helping Phileas.
But to be fair, I am sitting on your hat, so it would be probably pretty easy to whisper something to me that only I could hear, unless Shiny is also being carried on your person.
I think we established Shiny was. Are you still on?
Yeah, still in uppy mode.
Okay.
But if you want this, you could. There's lots of ways that you could send Shiny away for a moment.
I don't think I have it. Like, is this an open spellbook game?
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause- 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 'cause-
Was that a yes? It
Yes.
sounded like you said yeah. um, yeah.
I was trying to think. I think Strixhaven is the only one that I've specifically restricted because y'all are technically still in school.
He still back to school.
I mean, here, even though it's kind of sideways with this, I'm gonna go get things that we have over with Chris, and then I can we can go get tight.
All right.
I'm gonna get another hot chocolate because it was good. I want another one.
You were right on your sit by your own. Are you? Someone my words. Are you okay by yourself?
Sure. I've been by myself for this many.
And how old are you?
This many. Wait. Yeah, this many. Wait.
Probably 10, like probably 10 lunar years.
I'm this many.
Yeah. Not 9 years by way of the Gregorian calendar. Also, that was beautiful.
And Shiny will hop down and go running off.
And similarly, Casque will look up to Portabella. But before she departs, she looks up to you, Portabella, and she says, "Take this," and hands you a small scroll. It is sealed with a dark, sort of golden brown wax, and has like really nice sort of scroll knobs on the top and bottom. Obviously, whatever this is pretty important. And she says, "Take this to Solana when you get to Snowmantle. I am afraid that I cannot pass its borders, but Solana will be glad for it and will aid you once you are in the city."
All right. Thank you.
And she turns, and as she walks away, she says, "I will prepare the sled, and I will see you before the sun rises again tomorrow."
All right. Bye bye.
She waves, and you see her pin her uh, shearling face covering back up. By this point, the sun is what little of it came up over the horizon is beginning to dip back down. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Phileas and I.
I am now the other Duran.
What do you do?
We're gonna pick him up off hats and hold hold him in hand. Just not kind of like just like scooped uh hold yeah, I guess it's closer. Don't know. hold gently like hamburger. Have you seen that picture? It's like it's like a drawing of like a person holding a really fat baby dragon, and it says "Hold gently like hamburger."
Phileas, are you okay with being held?
I mean, no, but I'm
Good
not
thing.
gonna say
Good thing you're still under
Portabella.
the effect of
She's
the calm emotion spell.
sure, yeah.
You can just fly next to me. I just wanted
How
to.
long does the spell last?
That's a great question.
I think it only lasts 1 minute, so
Yeah, you guys. I mean, we did a lot of talking out of character, so there hasn't been a huge exchange here.
no. But it's probably like on the tail end of it for sure.
Probably.
So yeah, I would just step on to Portabella's hand. I mean, Portabella's an angel. I'm not gonna like actually be mean to her. So
You are physically incapable.
so yeah, Phileas steps on your hand.
I don't know how to. Who the fuck is in the background? Who the fuck is in?
Oh, sorry.
It's just the voices on the wind.
Can those slave children shut up? I'm trying to talk about suicide with my friend here.
Right? Suicide, you rang? Was that an option? They say in unison.
And then just fucking Benson for regular show. Get back to work.
All right.
I don't. I'm not really sure how to talk about this, but do. Why are you so close?
I'm listening.
Okay. Um, if you if you need to talk about your feelings, especially the feelings of um wanting to sleep forever, um, you can talk about them with me. I think the idea of bringing that up around Shiny is a little um inappropriate. She is a child, and um, uh, uh,
That's fair. No, I actually really just want to like go to sleep forever. Um, I don't want to die. If that's what you thought I was implying, no, no. Honestly, my feelings with relating of that kind of sleeping forever is, I think that if I don't find Willow within the next I don't know, I'm gonna give it like 7 days. I think I might just, put all the fake court to sleep forever, but in that way, not actually sleeping.
and I understand your anger, but well, that's not a way to deal with it. I, I can't completely understand how it feels. I've never been completely devoted to a deity, but has and is going to continue to be challenging. To bring an archfey back from the dead essentially is not most likely going to be completed in a week. I
Well, I mean, that's good news for us and bad news for the Fae, because we'll go down in history as the people who eliminated an evil from this world. And they'll go down in history as the evil that was eliminated. You see, it all works out.
In case it had to be said out loud, um, none of you are even remotely close, even collectively, to being a threat.
No, we would go down as the dummies who tried to fight Archfey. I I think I know this will be hard for you to hear, but gods and Archfey don't always do the best things. And I try to look at the best side of everything and try to trust them, especially in important matters like this, because I wouldn't want to think that the rest of the Archfey would want one of theirs to die. But it just has to be understood that I don't know how to say this, but they're going to do bad things, and we have to put up with that. We can curse at them as much as we want, but it, it's not going to do anything. And as
Well, not with that attitude, silly. No, see, people thinking like that is how they got as powerful as they are. And also, out of character, does Phileas know of any wrongdoings that Willow has ever done?
that's actually what I was about to say. With that, how much do I actually know about Willow?
Yeah. So, the short answer is no. The long answer is that Willow is Willow is the Archfey. Willow is not a Archfey. He is the Archfey. It is his roots that created the Feywild. It is from his branches that all Fey creatures grew and flourished. It is from his roots that magic is drawn from the world and breathed into the air. Willow is primordial in that nature, the
So
progenitor of magic.
does that mean that the type of trees called willows were named after him, or is he just one? Is he named that because he is a species of willow?
Um, Actually, it's more to shiny. Sorry, to what Jimbo just said, real quick. It's more to the difficulty of channeling that magic through corrupted intention. As to the name of Willow, um, Willow, in its infinite power, somewhat, rains down magic over the world. Their branches dripping with it like so many leaves. The weeping willow, derived by those believe in Greek mythology, those who by the riverside mourned. But Willow is essentially the progenitor from which each of these Fey species exists.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So Yeah, not with that attitude, silly. And honestly, it's because of thoughts like that that the Fae have gotten as powerful as they are. They're not gods. They're not Archfey. Willow is the only Archfey. If it wasn't for Willow, they wouldn't even exist. And this is how they show their gratitude? No. So as much as I want to, as much as I want to agree with you, Portabella, as much as I do, I just can't. I now see the issue. I now see that it almost might be even more important for us to cleanse the Feywilds before we replant Willow and bring him to his former glory. I think that there are some weeds that need to be taken out of our beautiful garden before we put Willow in the ground and allow him to flourish and nurture our world.
As you're
And
saying all of
maybe
this, Portobello, you can see the flames of this huge torch in the middle of town beginning to swirl with energy. And you can see the flames, the light bouncing and flickering on Phileas's face as this frustration rises.
and and so yeah, so now I think we have two tasks. We have to find Willow and we have to get rid of these monsters. Look at what they're doing to the world. Look at what they've done to Willow. Look at what they're doing to us. They don't deserve to exist.
And you begin to see the winds kicking up, swirls of snow churning through this town as the last of the daylight fades from the sky.
Angry ranting more of point. Angry ranting, want to kill Faye courts. Angry rant over.
I can agree with some of what you were saying, but if that's really what you want to do, you would have to essentially unite all of the people of the Fae to overthrow.
I think at that moment, the
You
anger.
say you want a revolution.
Yeah, I think at that moment, the anger.
No.
The anger completely like disappears from Phileas's eyes. Is like, hey, that's genius, Portabella. And he immediately flies back up to her hat and starts to
write a manifesto.
No, starts to draw propaganda posters specifically against Titania at first. But he's just like, he takes a stick and flies over to the torch in the middle of the square and like burns it a little bit so that it's charcoaled, and then takes a leaf out of his robe and just starts obviously this isn't going to make a good propaganda poster because it's like as big as Phileas's hands, which is maybe like an inch. But they're drawing propaganda posters of like, rise up against the courts.
As we look down from overhead, we see these flames swirling. We see the snow buffeting against these structures. We see the wind writhing against these canvas buildings. On one side of town, we see Typh as he begins to walk out onto the glacier. Snow and ice forming on him from this frozen wind. On the other side, we see Shiny as they are making their way back towards Kris Kringle's house. And as we zoom back in on this writing that Phileas is energized by, we see that piece of papyrus begin to shudder in his hand, and then we hear a soft laughter on the wind, and that is where I'll leave you tonight.
I don't like how Phileas said that about cleansing the Fae. That sounded a little a little sus.
Little genocidal. Little.
a little a
Uh,
little
yeah, I mean, the we must trim the tall trees is a little. It's just.
Weird. It's like it sounds like he's turning chaotic evil or something. It's so weird. Weird. I don't know.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
I support you.
Yeah. I also have to say, sort of out of game and out of character, Phileas might be onto something. So
I'm just gonna say, sort of out of game and out of character. This is the first D&D session I've ever played where I almost cried. So congratulations, Hadley.
Yay!
why are you looking at me?
But,
Why are you looking at
Welcome
because I know you're a sadist and I knew you would enjoy that information. So
Welcome to
True.
the club.
yeah, real emotions happening there. I think a lot of it has to do with just like what's going on in my life and a feeling of helplessness, and then feeling Phileas's helplessness. I like actually almost got emotional.
Did you almost
That was
feel an
the-
emotion for the first time?
No, not for the first time.
Oh.
Actually, it's literally been plaguing me for the last 2 weeks. So thank you for the vacation from that feeling.
Okay.
Anyway, I am going to be boarding my flight soon, so I have to go.
Hooray! Well,
But,
I also. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the people at the airport must be like, what the fuck is happening over there?
I love
But
it.
I will, yeah, that's something else I was gonna say is I will also say thank you to all of you for sticking with me through this crippling social anxiety of people looking at me when I was making funny faces and talking about cleansing.
So,
This is great. I can't wait to see the TikToks that people come up with.
in the fucking like weird high pitched voice, it's like this bitch is talking about alt right in
Oh,
a
God.
funny
Oh,
post
no.
in the airport.
Yeah, no, but thank you guys.
But thank
Hadley,
you
I'm
for
gonna
joining us. I
leave
really
before
appreciate
you-
you so much. No, you can't leave. I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna do the thing now.
You're gonna do it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, do it now. Never mind.
So,
I'll
with
wait.
all that said and done, unfortunately, I must bid you adieu and au revoir and sayonara. And remind you, as always, to be good, to take care of yourselves, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. Good night, everybody. Thank you. This was a really special session for me, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.
Doodles.